another episode of Patriots Only, please. And today we are celebrating Flag Day.
And it's Donald Trump's birthday. We have birthday peanut butter explosion.
Yeah, we don't know if the Donald is in the peanut butter explosion.
But we are. We're Patriots.
It's
cool.
So,
and it's here.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to bring birthday hats, but I forgot.
It's all right.
Because I'm busy. But there's so much to talk about. We haven't really spoken about the Hunter Biden thing in the last episode. We need to do a correction.
Yeah, we actually called. We made a mistake because
I did. Yeah, all me.
There we go.
All me.
Because I thought that was a little early.
It was premature.
I was like, he said Hunter Biden just got off the plane, scot free.
It was premature.
Are you kidding me? That was quick. That was like 2 days into the trial. But we learned since then that Hunter Biden was convicted.
Yes.
On what? All three counts?
Three felony charges that don't really mean much.
No.
And essentially they were to legitimize the Trump trial, which is illegitimate. It's a political ploy. Of course.
And as much as we would love to see the Biden crime family go down, I don't necessarily think these are the charges. And like you said, I think this is all just optics. This is all just to make it look like, see? No one is above the law. Justice is blind. Yeah, that's
well. They let all the hard crimes expire. The statute of limitations has expired.
Yes.
All the things that connect back to Biden. Those are still on the laptop. That I guess will never be discussed. The inappropriate behavior with minors. No idea what's going to happen with that. But something should happen with that. But essentially, we got a show trial with Hunter. Mm-hmm. And a show trial with Trump.
Sure.
And here we are. I mean, we haven't really talked since then. So we wanted to make that correction on our show that what I said earlier was incorrect. Hunter has been convicted. Yeah, 3 felonies.
Yep.
No one thinks he'll do a day of jail time.
Absolutely not.
No one believes that for a second. Nor should Trump, as you have said. It's his birthday today. He's 78 years old. So he's a 78-year-old businessman, former president, 0 convictions on his record. No one thinks he should actually go to jail for 34 book entries. That's what the 34 felonies are.
Absolutely.
If you don't know that, Azura's our tech today. The 34 felonies against Trump are 34 incorrect internal book entries. Those are that's what he should be in a cell for.
Clearly a violent criminal that needs to be taken off the streets for the rest of his life.
Which is what prison's supposed to be for, right?
Absolutely.
So anyway, we're going to take it out. So we made that correction.
Yes.
We pointed out the peanut butter explosion on Mr. Trump's behalf. It's his 78th birthday today.
I didn't realize he was that old. I just saw him a couple of days ago.
He was 77.
He was 77 which is the year I was born, actually. Yeah, so there you go, 77. Lucky 77. But I just saw him the other day in 100+ degree heat. And just killing it out there. I will make the observation there are not many people that crowds with 20,000 people would gather for in 100+ degree weather.
I'll never forget the last election cycle when he was hitting 3 or 4 states a day at 70 whatever it was. I mean, I'm much younger than that, and I could not imagine myself having the energy or the wherewithal to hop on a plane and hit 3 or 4 different states, speak for an hour and a half, fly. I mean, that's just taxing on a young person.
Sure.
But someone of his advanced years, I don't understand where the energy comes from.
He does travel comfortably.
He does.
I'm sure he travels nice and comfortably. But still, though, to your point, that's a tough schedule.
To anyone that's a public speaker or a performer or that speaks for a living or speaks a lot, a teacher that uses their voice a lot, throw in that travel in one day.
Yeah.
All lectures that you've given in one day, throw in between those lectures, flying to and from states.
Yep. Different time zones, different,
How do you not get a cold? How do you not lose your voice? How do you not go hoarse?
It's funny, the one time I briefly met Trump during the 2016 election.
You were on a horse.
I was on a horse, and I went up to him, and I said, how do you keep up that schedule? He said something like, says, it's very difficult, believe me, it's very difficult. So no,
it takes a team.
Even he acknowledges it. But yeah, there was, I think the Biden conviction is just, as you said, it's just a smokescreen, just so they can kind of parade around the fact that justice is blind and see it doesn't just go both ways and no one is above the law. Although, again, I think it would be great to see them convicted. But if nothing else, it does. Hey, the laptop is real after all.
The FBI confirmed the laptop is real. They've had it in their possession since 2019. Shame on them. All the girls that were taken advantage of in their young teenage years. What about where's their trials? Is my question. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not to mention all the drugs, crack cocaine, all kinds of stuff going on in these videos. FBI knew about it since 2019. Nada. Nada. So the two-tier justice system exists. This is obviously an example of that, of white privilege, of the political class enjoying being a member of the political class.
Sure.
And
probably more so of that than white privilege. I have yet to cash in that privilege.
I have no cachet.
Maybe we're so privileged we just don't know.
Well, that's what they want us to think.
Of course.
That's what they want us to think. So this is, we wanted to make sure we got we did a show today to discuss Flag Day, which honors veterans, our country.
This flag.
The establishment.
This flag.
This is a great flag.
Yeah. There are other good flags.
There are.
But this flag,
it's a pretty good flag,
is the one we should give this flag an entire month to. I think this flag deserves a month.
It's a great flag. I like it.
Just saying. It's a controversial idea. And maybe this flag deserves its own month.
So what we don't say enough on the show, and that we should, is that we'd like you, if you like the show, if you like what we're doing, you can support us by liking the episodes, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Smash that subscribe button if you wouldn't mind. We really appreciate it. We're on all the socials. We're on all the platforms.
We are.
We are conservative patriots, but we're open-minded. We love to talk to anyone that wants to talk to us in a polite, courteous manner.
Yes.
We're not going to name, call, and scream. That's not what we're about here.
Although
that's the other show.
I'm not above it. It just depends on the day. Now listen, if there is one message that I think that I would like to drive home, and I think you would agree, we all need to drive this home. Look, we just had our primary elections in Nevada.
Yes.
Voter turnout was to be expected, which was kind of crappy, but it was to be expected.
In the 20% range.
Yeah, which is not great, and the Democrats did have a higher turnout ultimately than the Republicans, and granted, there's a lot of independents who probably vote, obviously in either direction.
Right.
Having said that, as somebody who attended, as one of the 20,000 who attended last week, it's great.
Attended Trump's rally.
Attended Trump rally, yes. Rallies are great. Large crowds are fantastic.
Right.
Keyboard warriors are great. Keep doing it. Keep knocking on doors. Donations are wonderful.
Yep.
But the only thing that moves the needle is a vote on the day. So as we get closer, I understand if people sat out some of their local elections. I don't know who these people are. I don't know who this judge. I don't know who's running against what. I get it. It's a lot to keep up with. But I hope that level of apathy does not translate on November 5th.
So
that is the day where everyone needs to come out full force. The only way Trump wins in November is if we overwhelm the system.
Too big to rig.
Too big to rig.
And we also encourage people to vote early. I mean, there's early voting.
I mean, vote early and vote often. I mean, as long as you're not dead, although they seem to vote early and often as well.
And one quick comment about the primary in this state. Democrats did have a bigger percentage of votes, but if you look at the breakdown, the largest portion of Democratic votes were mail-in votes. They mailed in their ballots.
Of course.
They didn't show up in person.
Yes.
So whatever that means.
Yeah.
But it means they got their stuff in on time.
Yeah.
So that's what really matters. So to your point, you're absolutely right. Voting on time is important. Use the early voting period, guys. I mean, day of is rough. It's going to be super busy, long lines. You're going to have to work that day. That's why they give you a week and a half before the actual deadline day to vote. We all agree voting day for federal elections should be a holiday, but as of this year, it's not. So you do have that whole week and a half before to get it in. Mm-hmm. Vote red down the ballot. Vote early, please, please, please. All politics is local. Of course, we want Trump to win the presidency, but we also want to pick up some seats in each state in the House and Senate. So just if you can, carve out some time to vote early if it's possible, and if you can't, day of, get out there and do it, man.
Use the tools that are at your disposal.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever it takes. But look, like we said, again, rallies are great. Polls are great, but the only thing that counts is going to be when you actually get out and vote and exercise your right. And I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, it doesn't mean anything." They're just going to steal it anyway. Well, the only way you're going to know is if we can overwhelm the system.
And I'm also a big believer in, we're all on our own individual journeys in life. I want to know that I did my civic duty. I want to know as I get older that however things turn out, as our friend Stephanie Phillips, who ran for U.S. Senate here in Nevada, she did not win, but she put up a hell of a fight against an incumbent with a lot more money and a lot more power. But she did a great job. She created this very awesome conservative connection network throughout the state of Nevada that will serve her well over time, and all of us. But she had a great line in her episode with us: your vote is your voice. Mm-hmm. Now, it might not feel like that at the time, but you can look back over your life and go, damn it, I voted every time I could. Mm-hmm. And I spoke with my vote every chance that I got in my own individual way. Does it affect the whole turnout of a state or a country? Maybe not. But in your own personal journey in your life, you can say, I did my best.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that to me means something.
Yeah, absolutely.
It does.
Because you get the opportunity to do it. So regardless of whether you think it's going to move the needle or not, it's always a good idea to exercise that fundamental.
You can say, I documented my opinion by voting legally. Yeah. I did my civic duty, and the rest is beyond my control. But it's a nice feeling to know I did my part. So we want that for you. Whatever side of the fence you're on, we hope you're on the right. But it's a chance for citizens, taxpayers, to actually speak their minds.
It's the only opportunity you get to really speak your mind. That's the only message that you're going to send. If you don't like the way things are run in your local, in your state, your town, your municipality, whatever,
your schools,
certainly in your country,
your schools,
then you only have one. Well, you get a few opportunities to do it, during an election cycle, but that's your chance.
Yeah.
More so than knocking on doors, more so than sending money, which is all great. But the only thing that counts is that vote. So I know we've kind of pounded in, but when I see statistics like that and I see numbers like that, and I think we're only a few months away.
I know.
You don't want complacency to set in.
No.
That's why, it's great. Oh my God, 20,000 people. This rally, it's great. He's got it in the bag.
Well, and then people hear the poll numbers, which polls vary daily, maybe even hourly.
Sure.
But he's up double digits against Biden in Nevada. That's great. But last time around, Democrats won the state. Before that, Democrats won the state.
Yeah.
At the presidential level.
Yeah. So
we don't want that. The good thing, and now we're talking about Nevada right now. We're zooming out from the federal to the local to our state. The movement in Nevada right now seems to be, in 2020, we're the only state in the country that flipped governors in terms of party. We had a Democratic governor during COVID who was horrendous. I'm not going to say his name. I don't want to give him any shout outs. I don't want to get into. He's now, by the way, he's got a full. He's in Chicago. He's a tenured professor already in Chicago, teaching, making $180,000 a year, teaching politics to idiots that believe he knows what he's talking about. He doesn't, by the way. But whoever he was got voted out. Thank God. And Governor Joe Lombardo, a sheriff here in town, a law enforcement. 40-year veteran is now the governor, the Republican governor of our state. So lots of pundits believe we are moving in the right direction in Nevada in terms of moving toward going red. We've been a purple state for a couple of cycles.
Sure.
We're hoping this time around to go solid red.
And all of the polls are indicating as such as well.
But to his point and to mine, that doesn't mean you skip the election. That doesn't mean you don't go out and vote here, guys.
Polls don't mean
you gotta vote. Whenever we talk about things like this, I always think of Bernie Sanders. For 2 cycles, he had 50,000 people. We've got our tech here today, Azura, folks her age and a little bit older. He was getting 50,000 people to his rallies for a year. But guess what? A lot of those folks, no disrespect, just don't vote.
Yeah.
Day of, they don't early vote because they're busy, and then day of they go, let's just go to the beach. It's always been an issue with younger people that they just don't show up to the polls.
Well, the problem that we have to worry about is that younger demographic tends to vote in the opposite direction from us. So if anybody is going to go out and turn out for the vote, it's most likely going to be them this time around. Not because they agree with any of the policies at all, mind you, because most of them don't even follow it, but just because the orange man is bad, so you have to go out and.
It's funny though, buddy. I mean, I'm on TikTok a lot. I'm an older guy. I'm not a young guy, But there's way more, and I actually did some research on this on the Google. There's way more conservative voices on TikTok in 2024 than there were in 2020. And I think that's leaking over into Facebook. I think a lot of people that were quiet in 2020, the whole BLM thing overwhelmed a lot of people. COVID scared the crap out of a lot of people, as it should have. So it's none of those things exist anymore. It's a different time. 4 years, a hell of a lot has changed. And Trump is really coming on strong. And I think people are understanding that they're watching Biden fail miserably, foreign policy, domestic policy, any policy you want to talk about, and then you listen to him speak, and you go, oh, he really can't even form thoughts.
I can't see how the polls can be that close.
Well, that's just it. I don't think they are. But again, I could be wrong. I don't think they are. But Trump is up. Trump's building momentum. He's getting endorsed left and right by unions and police.
Sure.
I mean, he's really doing well. And we know what kind of president he's going to be. So that's the beginning of our episode.
I thought we were nearing the end, but
well, no, we are nearing the end. But I mean, so we're celebrating. It's June 14th.
June 14th.
We're celebrating Trump's birthday today. He's 78 years old.
78.
Make America great again.
That's right.
And we're celebrating Flag Day for the country that we live in, that we love in.
It's pretty incredible that Trump planned that to be born on Flag Day.
Smart man. He knew.
You know what I mean? He was born to be president.
In utero. He knew.
That's right.
In utero.
I'm just saying, that's the guy we're voting for.
There's a hashtag, in utero. He knew. He was America first in utero.
That's right.
Which is a great word, in utero.
Good Nirvana album, too.
I was going to say, we're Gen X. Gen X right here. All Gen X.
And we still look good, pretty much.
We're holding up okay. We have great doctors, what do you call them, plastic surgeons? Stylists. But we really wanted to come on today. We're both, in addition to the podcast and being as politically active as we can be, we both run businesses, and we're both business owners and families and things. So we do this, we're committing to do it every week.
Yes.
Between now and the election, because we have to. Today was about Trump's birthday, about Flag Day. Today for us in Nevada, the state of Nevada, was about recapping the primary election on June 11th, which, not bad. We think we did pretty well. Again, Democrats did better on the mail-in side of things. Republicans tend to show up more than mail-in.
Sure.
That seems to be my take on it.
I personally wasn't surprised at the turnout. I mean, as far as the candidates go. So everything kind of went as I would expect it to.
Yeah.
But I don't want that to be the case in November.
No.
We need to overwhelm the system in November.
Too big to rig. So listen, if there's anything you'd like us to talk about, any topics you want us to cover in the podcast, message us, communicate with us, let us know. We're just between now and November, our goal is to get people to vote for Trump, or we're going to dissect and, Examine, no, what's the word? I'm an English major too, I should know this word. Deconstruct. We'll be deconstructing the Biden administration policies between now and November to get you to vote for Trump, and to convince you whatever you're hanging on to on the left I'm not sure it really exists anymore. I read a great quote from Thomas Sowell.
Okay.
Thomas Sowell, you familiar with Thomas Sowell?
Sure, relation to a David Sowell?
No, he's not at all. Different family.
Okay.
David Sowell. Thomas Sowell is an economist, philosopher.
Oh, yes.
Very, he's written 30 books. Grew up in New York, Democrat most of his life. Once he finished school and finished growing up, he was like, this Democrat thing is kind of a bunch of nonsense. And he's like, there's 3 questions you can ask any Democrat when it comes to their belief about policy. And here are the 3 questions. Compared to what? Whatever they're saying to you. Like right now, whatever they're defending with Biden, just compared to what? How much does it cost? And what specific evidence do you have to prove it? If you were to employ those 3 questions to anything regarding Biden, you'd probably get called a racist. You'd probably get called some other isms and names, but they wouldn't give you a straight answer because most of what the Democrats do cannot answer any of those questions. They don't care about the cost compared to what. Who cares? It's the right thing to do. We don't care.
Sure.
It's like talking to a child.
Yeah.
It's like talking to a child.
Absolutely.
Except they're the party in power, which makes it difficult.
Yes.
So
with that, and not to belabor the point, but get out and vote, mail it in, whatever, send it on a carrier pigeon, however you can get your vote in. but do it. And that's about it for this week. That's about it for the message.
We want to say happy birthday, Donald Trump. If you happen to see this wherever you are in the world, we're big fans. Peanut butter explosion. One for Jeff, one for me.
Well, we'll hold on to these for
one
you
for
as long
Azura.
as possible, but you got to get here.
They're not going to last long.
They're not going to last long. So we can refrigerate these, but you can.
It's Flag Day in America.
Yeah.
Celebrate the American flag today.
That's right.
It's Trump's birthday, and it's PatriotsOnlyPlease.com.
Yeah, check us out at PatriotsOnlyPlease.com.
This moving forward thing is kind of a cool way to end the show. It's almost like we're coming at you. Whoa! It's getting creepy now.
That's right.
Have a great weekend, guys. Thank you so much. PatriotsOnlyPlease.com.